Good afternoon, students. Today we'll have what are the applications to be used of mathematics in the field of business management. This lecture relates statistics, mathematics, computer science, optimization toolbox, and many more fields. But before we go to the main technique and tools to be used of mathematics, we need to know some of the terminology of this concept, that is inventory management. Any ideal source with economic value is called inventory. It may be in the form of raw material, work in process, or finished goods. Even cash can sometimes form inventory. For example, the cash available at a hotel's cash counter for encasing travelers' checks. Inventory helps to smoothen out irregularities in supply. For instance, tobacco is harvested only once in a year, but the production of tobacco products is carried out throughout the year. This is possible only if sufficient stock of tobacco is procured during the harvesting season and stored for the use throughout the year. If this is not done, we may have to stop production due to lack of raw material. Whenever the demand for an item does not support its continued production throughout the year, or its seasonal nature prevents production throughout the year, it is produced in batches or lots. So, a sufficient quantity is produced and stored to satisfy the demand of product when it is not produced. One more example of sugarcane industry. The sugar industry is a typical example of such production. Sugar mills produce sugar only between November and April. That is, this is a harvesting season for the sugarcane. When the sugarcane can be harvested, adequate stock of sugarcane has to be maintained to meet the demand throughout the year. Okay. One more example, a retailer of ready-made garments does not purchase a dress from the producer every time he sells one. He prefers to buy them in lots and carry an inventory of ready-made dresses so that the purchasing can be done in large quantities and at a lower cost with less paperwork. So, inventory offers us a means of store labor. This may sound odd, but is regular practice going on in business management. The demand for coolers and air conditions suddenly increases with the onset of summer season. This surge in demand or increase in demand is generally met by the inventory stock and produced during the lean season. That is, offset summer season, one should have sufficient amount of inventory with them to satisfy the demand of coolers or air conditions during the summer. This helps in smoothing the use of resources in terms of labor and machine capacities. Fairly steady production rates are maintained throughout the year, and the goods produced during the off season helps to meet the rise in demand during the summer. The two basic decisions for every item in the inventory to ensure the efficiency and effectiveness are how much of an item to order when its inventory is to be replenished. That is, at each order, how much should I procure, whether it is 10 units or 15 units or 1000 units. When should the second question is, when should the inventory of an item be replenished? That is, after a day or a week or a month or a year or any specified time, I should know at which inventory of an item should be ordered.
There are some costs associated with this inventories. We are having a list of it. અમુક પ્રકારની કોસ્ટ એની સાથે એસોસિએટ થયેલી હોય છે. ફર્સ્ટ વન ઇઝ ધ સેટઅપ કોસ્ટ, that is the cost associated with the setting up of machinery before starting the production. એટલે કે જ્યારે પ્રોડક્શન સ્ટાર્ટ થયું હોય એની પહેલાં આપણે જે કોસ્ટ અસાઇન કરતા હોઈએ that is known as a setup cost. Setup cost is generally assumed to be independent from the quantity ordered. ગમે એટલી ક્વોન્ટિટી ઓર્ડર આપણે કરતા હોઈએ એની સાથે સેટઅપ કોસ્ટને કોઈ એસોસિએશન હોતું નથી. દેટ ડઝ નોટ ડિપેન્ડ્સ અપોન ધ ક્વોન્ટિટી ઓર્ડર. Second one is ordering cost. This is the cost which is associated with ordering a raw material for the production purpose. એટલે ઘણીવાર આપણે એવું બને કે કોઈ પ્રોડક્શન લેવલને ઇન્ક્રીઝ કરવા માટે આપણે બહારથી કોઈ વસ્તુ ઇમ્પોર્ટ કરાવવી પડે, તો ઇમ્પોર્ટેશન માટે જે ચાર્જીસ અવેલેબલ થાય, મે બી ટ્રાન્સપોર્ટેશન કોસ્ટ ઇઝ એસોસિએટેડ વિથ, મે બી ટેલિફોનિક કોસ્ટ વિલ બી એસોસિએટેડ વિથ. There are some costs which are given in list like advertisements or consumption of stationery and postage, telephone charges as I told, traveling expenses as just we had considered as a transportation cost. These are considered as ordering cost. The next one is purchase cost. Sometimes અમુક વસ્તુ આપણે માર્કેટની અંદરથી પરચેઝ કરવી પડે. In that case the cost of purchasing of a particular unit, that is known as a purchase cost. Next one, the purchase cost will be important in some cases when the quantities discounts are produced. ઘણીવાર એવું બને કે આપણે કોઈ રિટેલર પાસે 100 યુનિટ્સનું પ્રોડક્શન 100 યુનિટ્સનું પરચેઝ કરીએ અને આફ્ટર મેકિંગ સચ એ purchase we can have a we can have a price discount over there. Maybe after 200 the price discount will be increased over there. So there will be some important remarks from which we can find out the variations in different cost functions over there. Another way is carrying cost. The carrying cost is the cost which is associated with carrying an inventory. એટલે કોઈ ઇન્વેન્ટરી આપણે સાચવવી પડે, કોઈ સ્ટોક આપણે મેનેજ કરવો પડે. ઇન દેટ કેસ સ્ટોક કોસ્ટ અસાઇન્ડ વિથ સ્પેસ which is used to storage. As well as some monies are invested over there, and lack of selling we can it is locked up over there. Insurance costs are associated with that, taxes, weight, etc. These are considered as a inventory holding cost. Next one is a shortage cost. This is the penalty cost for the running out of the stock. Sometimes it may happen that કે આપણી પાસે સ્ટોક અવેલેબલ જ ના હોય, રિટેલર પાસે સ્ટોક અવેલેબલ ના હોય. In that case some customer comes to the retailer and retailer is not about to supply the the demand of customers' demands over there. In that case the loss of goodwill or loss of potential profit are there. So that will be cost as a cost of shortage over there. It is maybe denoted by pi over there. We are using these notations for that. Next is, beside this cost some other factors are there which are affect the inventory system, which is listed as follows. First one is demand. The number of units which are required to per period, sometimes in year, in maybe in month, in maybe in week, some demands is there. So for a particular item, the demand pattern may be one of the two type. One is deterministic and second one is probabilistic. Deterministic demand is the demand which is known in advance, that means for which we can predict in advance. So it may be a function of time, it may be a function of stock which we are going to occupy over there. And the probabilistic demand is nothing but a demand which cannot be predicted at any time, right? They will be just approximated by some probability distributions over there. The next one is lead time. Lead time is nothing but the gap between the placing an order and the actual arrival of the inventory system is known as a lead time. એટલે જ્યારે આપણે ઓર્ડર કરીએ અને આપણી સુધી ઇન્વેન્ટરી સ્ટોક આપણા સુધી પહોંચે ત્યાં વચ્ચેનું જે ગેપ રહે ટાઈમ ગેપ, that is known as a lead time.
That is, for example, if you place an order on Monday and if you receive the same order on Thursday, that means the lead time is of 3 days. Lead time has two components, namely the administrative lead time. This is from initiation of the procurement action until the placing of an order. Suppose you come to know about that you want to put an order, that decision has been taken on Monday, and if you place an order on Thursday, so this is 3 days administrative lead time, because that order has to pass from different officers. So it takes 3 days. So we call 3 days to be administrative lead time. And the second one is the delivery lead time. That is from placing of an order until the delivery of the order material. Like in the example which I said, we said that on Thursday you have kept an order and it comes on next Thursday. So the delivery lead time will be considered as that of 7 days. Order cycle. The cycle period between placement of two orders is termed as an order cycle. That is, suppose you start with 100 units on Monday and if it finishes off on Saturday. So that 6 days time is called the order cycle or cycle time. It will be denoted by capital T. The order must be placed on the basis of the following two types of inventory review systems.
The first one is the continuous review. That is, every time we need to think about that at which time we need to order the next order cycle. We need to invite the next order cycle. As for example, inventory level dhime dhime decrease thase, right? We are going to specify a particular point which is known as a reorder point. A point per jare inventory level avse, then we are going to implement a new order over there, and that order will be replenished in some finite time or infinite time, maybe like that. Next one is this system is also known as a two bin system, in which the first items are drawn from only one bin, and when it is emptied, a new order is placed over there, and after that the demand is satisfied from the second bin until the order is received. Upon the receipt of the order, enough items are placed into the second bin to make the earlier total as it is, and then after the remaining items are to be placed over in the first bin. This procedure is repeated. Next one is the periodic review. In this system, the inventory levels are viewed at equal time intervals. That means after a certain time duration, we are fixing a time durations over there. After such time t, we are always going to introduce a new order into our system, and the orders are placed at such intervals. Thus, the quantity ordered each time depends on the available inventory level at the time of review.
Time horizon. The time period over which the inventory level will be controlled is called the time horizon. That is, after which time period the management will be reviewing for the placement of an order. That is called time horizon. It can be of finite or infinite time, depending upon the nature of the demand for the commodity. Next one is when to put a order. That is, what should be the reorder level so that I should put an order. The level between maximum and minimum stock at which purchasing must start for replenishment is known as reorder level. Suppose your inventory starts with 100 units and you have a practice of as soon as it reaches to 20 units, you will place an order of 80 units more. So overall, at each and every phase, your system will be of 100 units. That is, the 20 units is called reorder level. Stock replenishment. Although an inventory problem may operate with lead time, because most of the time there should be a lead time, the actual replenishment of stock may occur instantaneously or uniformly. Instantaneously means at the point, at the same time, or uniformly. That is, if 3 days lead time is there, every time it will remain of 3 days. Instantaneous replenishments occurs in the case the stock is purchased from outside source. If you have a wholesaler from outsider, then instantaneous replenishment may occur. Whereas the uniform replenishment occurs when the product is manufactured by the company itself. But to have all this inventory management, the main factor, which is called inventory turnover, is defined as the ratio of the value of the material consumed to the average investment in inventory for the same period. For example, in a week, if you have consumed 100 units and spent 1000 rupees on it on an average, so 100 upon 1000 will be defined as inventory turnover. So mathematically, it can be ratio of inventory turnover value of the material consumed to value of the average investment in the inventories. Inventory turnover is actually a useful index of inventory control. The higher the index, the lower the inventory level. If you know that inventory index is much higher, then we say that the inventory level will be lower, and that will lower the cost of maintaining the inventory. That will reduce the inventory holding cost, because you whatever you because of demand you are selling off the product, and so index will remain higher. So the problem with the top management is always to keep himself informed of the particular product through the use of such an index. If a management knows that particular product has higher index, higher inventory index, then he will try to produce more and he will try to sell it more. So he will have a good selling of the particular product. When the future demand is known exactly, as Sir said, the inventory problem is said to be under certainty. If the probability distribution of future demand from past record is known, the inventory problem is said to be under risk. You can think of this in terms of rain. If we have the past data of the rainfall, past data of the rainfall doesn't mean only of the 1 year. You can have that of the 10 a decade or a century. You can find distribution, and still if you don't get rain, so we consider such a problem to be problem under risk. In case the level of future demand are totally unknown, the problem is termed to be under uncertainty. If you are not sure of how much demand will be there, then we say problem to be of under uncertainty.
Order quantity. Now order quantity means the quantity which must be produced or procured during a particular production cycle. એક આપણે પ્રોડક્શન સાયકલ કન્સિડર કરીએ તો એની અંદર આપણે કેટલું પ્રોડ્યુસ કરવું જોઈએ, કેટલું પ્રોડક્શન આપણે પ્રોક્યોર્ડ કરવું જોઈએ, that is known as a ordered quantity. This is a question that we are going to ask every time. When the size of order cycle increases, the ordering cost will decrease over there. As we know that કે જેટલું તમારે order cycle તમે વધારશો તેનાથી શું થશે કે તમારે નંબર ઓફ ઓર્ડર્સ જે પ્લેસ કરવા પડે છે એ ઘટી જશે. That will help you a decrease in ordering cost, but it will increase the cost of holding the inventory. એટલે જે તમારે હોલ્ડ કરવી પડે છે એના માટે જે સ્ટોરેજ કેપેસિટી ઇન્ક્રીઝ કરવી પડે એ સાથે એસોસિએટેડ જેટલી પણ કોસ્ટ હશે that will increase over there whenever the order cycle increases. Next, this graph represents the cost according to the order cycle. Order quantity is there, where you can see that જેમ order quantity increase હશે, the graph, the value of the ordering cost will be decreased over there, as well as the value of the inventory holding cost will increase over there. At some level, we can, if we combine both of the cost, we can make a graph of combined graph over there, and that shows in the graph. This shows that after some time, increment of inventory holding cost affect the decrement of ordering cost, and decrement of inventory holding cost will affected by increment in the ordering cost, and that will gives a concave graph over there. And the level that shown in the graph, that is Q0, at which we can find out the minimum total cost associated with the inventory system, that you can see over there. Thus in production, the process, there are two opposite costs. One encourages the increase in the order size, and one other decreases over there. The EOQ is the size of order that minimize the total annual cost of carrying inventory as well as cost of ordering over there.
So what exactly Sir wants to say, that wherever inventory holding costs and ordering costs are intersecting, both the graphs are intersecting,